All right, gang, welcome back to the final lesson on this bad boy. All right, so now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put a little bit of color into this guy. So what I'd like you to do is go to layer 1, unlock it, grab the color picker, and then move the color picker up somewhere in the greens. Okay, so you got this green area. And again, the colors aren't important. You can do whatever colors you want. This is really going to be kind of a two-color type of thing, right? We'll have some darker oranges, but I just want to keep the colors very basic. And I'm going to go with airbrush because I don't want to add a lot of texture to it. I think that the simplicity of this image is what makes it powerful. So I'm going to go with the soft brush. I'm going to crank it up. And now I'm going to go ahead. No, that's a little bit too cranked. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some color in this thing. Now you can do it this way, or you can go through and let's say, if you go through and you delete that, let's go ahead and create just a new layer. All right, we'll make it a new layer and we'll bring the layer down below here and we'll put the actual color on this layer. All right, so now we got the layer figured out. All right, so we're putting in some color. We're putting in some color. Color's going in. Now we don't know how much color is going in, so we'll have to figure that out here in a little bit. Okay. And now the reason we put that layer where we did is because then it's masked by the black. You remember the lesson on using a layer as a mask? All right. Now let's go ahead and save this as a palette. I'm going to go ahead and create another palette. And I'm going to come down and I'm going to set it as default. I'm going to call this Demon 1. All right. Perfect. And then I'm going to add it over to that palette. All right. Good deal. Now let's grab the color picker again. And let's go down to a yellow. All right, perfect. Now let's go here and let's add that over to the palette. Grab our soft brush, make sure we're on the right layer. And let's go ahead now and add in a little bit of yellow. All right, just a little bit of yellow. Okay, cool. Now let's go ahead and add in a little bit of orange. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to turn this off for a minute by design. We're going to use the color picker again. And I'm coming up now. Oops, we got a locked layer here. Okay. Grab the color picker and come up over to, say, this color of orange. I think we've got a pretty pure orange right there. All right. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to crank that up just slightly. I know it's a little bit saturated. That's fine. All right. Let's go ahead and just do a little bit with this. Why is it telling me I've got a hidden layer? Ah, the joys of Procreate. All right, well, apparently I've got a hidden layer that I don't know anything about. So we'll just create a new layer and moving on. And if that's the way it wants to be, I'm not going to fight it. All right, so let's see what we've got now. All right. So let's go ahead now, bring in our new brush. Let's go ahead and crank that size up a little bit here. Let's go back to here. And again, we went intentionally light because we just wanted to know kind of where everything was. Didn't want to go too crazy in any one area. Now, I'm going to keep this pretty basic in terms of what I'm doing here with this. I really like the image. I really like how basic it is. And so I don't want to do anything to disturb that. And See, this is the power of palettes. If we hadn't grabbed all of these with a palette, we'd have to redo the entire thing again. We don't want that. All right, maybe a little bit more green. All right, so I kind of like that. I think that it's very simple. I think we got a point across, and I think that you guys saw how you could use your brush strokes in order to facilitate a clean, readable image while adjusting fall off and stroke size and brush type. All right, folks, in the assignments folder immediately following this, go ahead, take the screenshot, post up what you did. I'm really interested to see, and then we'll go ahead and get into the next area of this course. Great job, folks.